So if you're pumped up about Trey Lance being selected by the San Francisco 49ers at pick number 3 in the 2021 NFL Draft, his 49ers jerseys are on sale right now thanks to our friends at Fanatics for $119.99. So go to chatsports.com/chatlance and you can get the scarlet jersey or the white jersey today. I'll put that description in the comments as well as in the description. Welcome into the 49ers Report. I am Chase Sr., and I'll tell you this. We didn't sleep much at all here at Chat Sports throughout the NFL Draft. Felt great to get about 8-9 hours of sleep last night, but we have some undrafted free agents to get to because the 49ers have signed 4 of them. Let's take a look at who they're bringing in to San Francisco. Justin Hilliard, linebacker out of Ohio State. Josh Pederson, tight end out of the University of Louisiana-Monroe. Austin Watkins, wide receiver out of UAB. And Elijah Sullivan, Kansas State linebacker. I want to start off with Justin Hilliard, and just to let you know, the 49ers didn't have a lot of roster spots to fill. That's why they've only brought in 4 undrafted free agents. As far as Justin Hilliard, signed a pretty large rookie free agent deal. According to Tom Pelissero of NFL Network, that contract includes a $30K signing bonus and a $95,000 base salary guarantee. And Justin Hilliard is a pretty good player. The only problem with him with the Buckeyes, he's been injured a lot. Going back to 2015, tore his meniscus as well as his biceps. In 2016, hurt his biceps again, had to get surgery. In 2019, one of the worst injuries that you can suffer nowadays as an athlete, torn Achilles. But he was able to recover, bring his way back, and he was the team captain for an Ohio State team that made it to the national championship in 2020. Highly coveted recruit out of high school when he committed to the Buckeyes. 5-star guy, plays really physical and at full speed all the time, so he'll come up to the line of scrimmage and knock you off your feet in the backfield. Also, he has a good chance at making the roster. This is probably my favorite UDFA that the 49ers brought in because he has a ton of special teams experience. The speed, okay. Because of injuries, not sure. 4'8" guy. And as I said, it's the injuries that have just cost him a lot. If he didn't have to get all of those surgeries and didn't have to recover from all of those injuries, I think he would have gotten drafted, but because of all those injuries, I think that's why you saw him sign as a UDFA. So can Justin Hilliard make this 49ers roster? He's going to be learning from arguably the best linebacker in the league in Fred Warner rather, type Y for yes or type N for no. I think he has a good chance at making this roster. Another intriguing player I want to get to, that's Josh Pederson, tight end out of Louisiana-Monroe. Josh Pederson is the son of Doug Pederson, the former Philadelphia Eagles head coach who won Super Bowl 52. Doug Pederson also played quarterback at Louisiana-Monroe. Now, Josh Pederson is somewhat of a late bloomer. In high school, he was actually more interested in golf than he was in football. And the cool thing is, his pops, Doug, helped him at his pro day in front of like 25 NFL teams. He was on his high school campus as a golfer, and his high school football coach was like, yo, your pops played in the league and was a longtime backup quarterback behind Brett Favre. You have the body and the makeup to play football, so get your butt on the football field. So a late bloomer, not the best athlete, ran a 4.8 40-yard dash, which as a tight end is just okay, and his size, 6'4", 234 pounds. George Kittle, for instance, is like 6'4", 6'5", 250 pounds, so a little bit slower, a little bit undersized, not an uber athlete by any means. He's going to have to do a lot in training camp and in preseason to earn a roster spot. What do you think the chances are that he makes the roster? Type L for likely, type U for unlikely. I think he's at the bottom of the barrel here as an UDFA. He's going to really have to prove himself in this 49ers roster. So we were live for every single round, every single pick of the 2021 NFL Draft. So when I got home last night, I was like, I have no idea what's going on outside of the football world. So I pulled up the Newsbreak app on my phone after I downloaded it a few months ago when I started here at Chat Sports on my iPhone. You can download it on your Android. And I was basically able to get up to date with everything happening in terms of all of the current events in the world right now, in terms of news, weather, politics, pop culture. You're like, Chase, how do you not know the weather? It's because I was inside covering the NFL draft. That's the beauty of the Newsbreak app, because on one single feed, you get all of that, as well as your sports content. And oh yeah, the 49ers Report has a page on the Newsbreak app as well. So if you can get your local news, weather, politics, pop culture, food, and your sports content, you can get the 49ers news, rumors, and all of the latest happening with the 49ers on the Newsbreak app as well. So go to chatsports.com/49NB and download the Newsbreak app today. Let's continue on with Austin Watkins, wide receiver out of UAB, transferred to UAB from Dodge City Community College. For those of you watching, you're asking yourself, why have I heard of Dodge City Community College? Featured on the Netflix series Last Chance U as one of the opponents for, I believe, Laney. First team All-C Conference USA in 2020, was putting together a really solid season until he opted out the last two games. And Austin Watkins is a chain mover. Almost 76% of his receptions at UAB were for first downs or touchdowns. So this is a guy who comes through in the clutch, comes through on third downs as well, and moves the chains in big situations. Also has a pretty big body at 6'3", 210 pounds. Physical after the catch, really enjoys blocking as well. His routes, they do need some tinkering. They do need some help. His route tree, it's kind of limited, and he gets a little sloppy with his routes as well, but a big-bodied wide receiver. And I actually like his chances of competing for a roster spot for the 49ers because they don't have a lot of guys who are Austin Watkins' size. So grade the UDFA signing for Austin Watkins for me. Get into the comments and vote below A, B, C, D, or F. I'm going to give Austin Watkins a solid B because I do think he's going to compete for a roster spot given his size. So for 49ers fans watching right now, give me a follow on Twitter or Instagram at Chase_Senior. It's the same handle on both Twitter and IG. If you want to say, hey, Chase, let's talk about the draft. What do you think about the 49ers and what they did here in 2021? I gave them an A if you didn't check out our draft grades on the 49ers report. Or if you want to ask me about some of these UDFAs, slide in my DMs, give me a shout on Twitter and IG at Chase_Senior. Let's move ahead with Elijah Sullivan, linebacker out of Kansas State. First committed to Auburn out of high school, flipped to Kansas State when Auburn was like, hey, we want to gray shirt you. And he's like, nah, I'm not about that business. I want to play right away. Tore his ACL in 2018 and had to redshirt. And he, too, got a pretty large signing bonus, worth around $30,000 with $95,000 guaranteed. And when I kind of scout him a little bit, has pretty solid range. He plays fast and physical. Here's the thing, though, with Elijah Sullivan. He's 6 foot, 214 pounds, so he does have safety size. While he played linebacker at the college level, my question for D'Amico Ryans and this 49ers coaching staff, where are they going to play him? And as NFL offenses change, forcing NFL defenses to change as well, you kind of see guys with this size profile, they're tweeners. They can play linebacker in maybe nickel sets, or if the opposing offenses go with 4 wide receivers, he can drop back and play safety. So I like that versatility to his game. Name your favorite undrafted free agent out there and leave those names in the comment section below. I know a lot of 49ers fans were clamoring for the 49ers to sign Fred Warner's brother. They did not. So let me know which undrafted free agent is your favorite one out there still on the market. Let's recap what the 49ers did in the aforementioned 2021 NFL Draft. Round 1, pick number 3. Got Trey Lance. Absolutely love it. Round 2, pick number 48, Aaron Banks. Don't know if he's necessarily a scheme fit, but he's nasty. He's a mauler, and he said, quote, after the draft, I just like to hurt people. Love that mentality from my offensive lineman. Round 3, pick 88, Trey Sermon, running back out of Ohio State. His jump from 2019 to 2020 was awesome, especially with his speed and burst. Ambry Thomas, cornerback out of Michigan, selected round 3, 102 as the 49ers address a major need and bring in a young piece in what is a veteran-laden secondary. And as we continue on with a couple more picks that the 49ers made, went back to the offensive line. Jalen Moore could be an offensive tackle or a guard. He played at Western Michigan, round 5, pick number 155. Love the value there because a lot of people slated him to go possibly in the 3rd round or the 4th round, and you're continuing to protect and have support for Trey Lance. Diamador Lenore, round 5, 172 out of Oregon. 4'4" guy who's kind of long, has good speed, lengthy as well. A lot of 49ers fans are really excited about the safety they got out of USC, Talanoa Hufanga. He is a really physical player, and there was a highlight reel play that he made last year, and I'm like, this guy is a baller. Picked off a pass after he rose up to get it, leaped over a defender or an offensive player and took it to the crib. He has the propensity to make some big plays. And then Elijah Mitchell, running back out of Louisiana in the 6th round. We're talking about a guy who has 4.3 speed and compares himself to Alvin Kamara. That was great value there in the 6th round for San Francisco. If you haven't subscribed to the 49ers Report, I mean, what are you doing? Go to youtube.com/49erstv or hit that big red button down below. We recapped and graded every single pick that the 49ers made. Here we are talking about the UDFAs a day after the NFL draft. Some great content coming up this week as well, and in the weeks and months leading up to the much anticipated 2021 NFL season. So go to youtube.com/49erstv and subscribe to the best 49ers coverage here on YouTube.